Namaste. This is going to be our gentle slash restorative class for this week. And as a reminder, I will not be with you next week. I leave Friday, I'll be gone for a week, but I will return the Monday following Easter Sunday. Okay. So today happens to be the spring equinox. And I'll be honest with you, I just always assume it's the 20th or the 21st. This year it's landing on the 19th. And the spring equinox is a time where day and night is equivalent. It represents a state of balance. And another important thing regarding today is we're moving into the Aries season, which is one of the cardinal signs. And Aries is about leadership and taking action. So I'll be giving you a few little prompts to kind of reflect on and think about as we go through our practice regarding this time frame that we're in. I'm going to go ahead and put us into the first pose, which is going to be child's pose. If for whatever reason your ankles, your knees is not cooperating today, of course you can be on your back and have your knees bent. So I'll show you your two options. Right? So if you need to be supine this way, that's okay. I get it. If you can be in the child's pose, which is where we're sitting back on the heels, and we're actually going to create an egg shape since it's spring. So we're going to take the arms around the body, palms open at the feet, so that the spine has this gentle egg shape or rounded vertebrae. If for whatever reason you need support between your hips or heels, please know you can prop a bolster or blanket, underneath that point. And if it's your head that's hovering, you could still place a bolster or a blanket underneath your brow. So just know those options are available. And as soon as you get into this egg-shaped formation of child's pose, just go ahead and begin to become the operator of your breath so that you're deepening both the inhales and your exhales. And as you continue to mindfully breathe, ponder for a moment as you're in this shape. Are you feeling like you're stuck or stagnant somewhere in yourself, somewhere in your life? And let it surface and give your loving attention to it. Both Mercury and Chiron, which is considered the wounded healer, are both in Aries. And so this is a good time, since Mercury deals with communication and Chiron's the wounded healer, to talk things over, to talk things out, to speak up. And then also realize that this is moving us into the eclipse season. We have the first lunar eclipse next week, and then we have a solar eclipse occurring in April in a few weeks. The eclipse that's happening next week in Libra is bringing our attention to relationship dynamics. So you might even see a relationship between your relationship dynamics and where you are stuck and stagnant. Maybe it's time to stand up for yourself, to take care of yourself, to assert your needs over someone else's needs. Maybe it's time to put yourself first or your feelings first. So as we continue the practice, listen to your heart. Take 3 more breaths. Your next inhale, let's stretch the arms forward and out. Lift your head up just a little bit, but you're going to sway as if you're cracking the shell of the egg. Remembering spring is about growth, rebirthing, fertility. And then lift your head up higher so that you're looking out into the room and travel your hands over to the right side and lower back down and in. Letting your belly and chest fall over your lap. And feeling this side stretch. Noticing where you feel sensation, the range of that sensation. Breathing into that left lung so that we're opening up the breath, but also the intercostal muscles. On your next inhale, lift the head up. Walk your hands over to the left side. Release back down and in. Stay connected and committed to your breath. Opening up the right lung. Noticing if the sensation shows up in the same pocket on this side or if there's a variance. And then inhale, lift the head up, walk your hands back to the mat, shift forward, curl your toes, and lift up to downward facing dog. Really applying pressure through your palms, spreading out and utilizing all 10 fingers as you reach and soar up through your hips. And then on your next inhale, look forward towards your hands. You're going to step your left foot behind your left hand, your right hand, or right foot rather, behind your right foot. Pick up your hands and you're dipping your hips halfway down. Your knees have a really deep bend. It's bear pose. And on your next inhale, press down through the soles of the feet. Bring yourself up to stand. Lace your fingers together. Continue to walk to the front of the mat. And then once you're here, you're going to reach your palms skyward. You're going to curve to the right. On your next inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, you're going to thread the arms behind your back, crisscrossing your arms with your right arm underneath. Let the shoulder slide down your back. As you inhale, step off to the left. Create your Kali goddess legs, where it's like a wide horse squat, thighs and knees rolling out. Release your arms and bring them up to the goddess shape. And then close your arms together. So you're squeezing, I know you can't see me, but basically you're squeezing your elbows and palms together. And now hook your right arm, I'm going to turn this way so you can see. Hook your right arm underneath your left for Garudasana arms, the eagle arms. Inhale back to goddess arms. Close the arms together. And now hook left arm underneath the right. Garudasana arms in the goddess pose. Release the arms, turn your heels back behind your toes, lift your arms up, Da Vinci pose. Turn your right foot 90 degrees towards the short edge side of your mat. Bring the webbing of your right hand into the hip crease. Your left hand lands on the back hip, and you're leaning out over that front leg. The teacup version of Trikonasana. And please know this option's always available. Even though we're going to inhale, come back up. We're going to stretch out the arms. Lengthen over the right leg, windmill down. And then if you choose to do this instead of the teacup version for the second go round, we're going to circle the arm. So the left arm's going to reach to the front side of the mat. And then follow your hand as it drops down towards the right foot, as it sails back beyond the left hip, and clockwork up to the sky. Take it again, forward and down, back and up. Now reverse it, take it back, down towards the right foot, forward and up. Reverse that flow again, back to the hip, down towards the foot, reach it out, and sail it back overhead. Good. From here, lunge the right knee, spin off your back heel. You're coming into a lunge position. And then from the lunge position, plant your left hand, reach that right arm skyward. At the same time, squeeze and clip your right hip a little closer to yourself. Exhale, bring the hand down. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, drop your knees. Okay, now as you shift forward with your shoulders, you're going to drop down Ashtanga Pranam. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back, keeping the toes curled so you're stretching the toes and working the fascia of the feet. Inhale, rock forward. Shoulders past the hands so you can dip down. Inhale, press up. And exhale, back. One more of those. Inhale, forward. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, back. All right, this time, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, down dog. Holding and breathing in the inversion. The feet are just a few inches apart. Head hangs between the upper arms. Now you can obviously come back to bear pose, but you could transfer the feet now to the edges of the mat behind your hands and drop the hips to squat. So I'll let you determine what is better or what is needed for you. Remember, you can always sit on a block. You can even sit on the floor and have your knees bent in a very similar way to this. All right, we're moving towards our first Uttanasana. So as your hands come down, you're going to lift your hips up and heel toe the feet together. And then just go ahead and collapse down. Head heavy, arms loose. Uttanasana. Inhale, let's bring ourselves up. Exhale, hands to heart. Lace up your fingers again. Reach the palms in the air. Exhale, lean to the left. And when you're leaning, just make sure you're not tucking your tailbone or that top arm's not falling in front of your face. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms cross behind your back. This time, left arm underneath. Giving a moment for the shoulders to stretch out. And this time we'll step off to the right. And when you step off to the right, coming back into that squat, reclaiming full Kali Goddess pose. But then as you exhale, bring one arm down to the knee, stretch the opposite arm over the ear, and then you're gonna let that arm hang down, and you're gonna let the head hang down. So what we're doing is just trying to stretch the neck and the shoulders after doing a lot of those handstand movements yesterday. And then if you want to kind of use that right arm loosely like a pendulum or like a grandfather clock, you can lightly, don't swing it aggressively, very gently. And then inhale, Kali Goddess. Exhale to the other side, at first propping and reaching through the top arm. And then we're gonna let it go. Head hangs down, arm loosely hangs down, and then if you want that pendulum effect, you can gently sway it back and forth. Inhale, Kali Goddess, hands to hips. Turn your heels behind your toes as you straighten out your legs. And then take the arms out, pose of Da Vinci. And before we move on to triangle, let's take the hands, lace them together behind the back, roll the shoulders back, lift the hands away from the buttocks. You can choose to be here and just focus on your stance, whether or not you're equally distributing the weight in the feet, or if you want to incorporate your hamstrings in with your shoulder stretch, you can fold down. I actually want to concentrate more on the shoulder, so I'm coming back up, but you're welcome to do either one to personalize your practice. All right, good. Hands to hips, turn your left foot, but the webbing between the thumb and the index finger is going to come into that hip crease, and you're doing teacup variation of the triangle pose. And you also want to make sure that you're trying to stack the shoulders. All right, if you need this variation, again, feel free to take it. Otherwise, inhale, come up, splay out your arms, take it deeper if that's available. Triangle. We're going to clockwork the arm, reaching it forward, sending it down, behind you, and back up. Forward, down, back, and up. Now reverse it. Send it back, down, forward, and up, back, down, forward, and up. Awesome. Now look down, spin off your back heel, come into a lunge here. Then plant your right palm and do the revolving twist. So when we're twisting away from the front leg, like we just did in triangle, that's an open twist. But when we twist towards the front leg, that's what makes it a revolving twist. All right, exhale, hand down, left foot, plank. Exhale to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lean back. You may not get the head down this time. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, build up. Exhale, press back. One more. Flow with your breath. Affirming I'm strong and courageous. Inhale back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're going to close out the salutation and begin restorative. But let's walk the feet forward first. Hands to the shins as you lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, release. Inhale to the top. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so let's do one back bend before we do magic 4. So hopefully you have a chair available. But let's open the heart first. And so there's different, restorative back bends we can do. I'm demonstrating one of the simplest ones. But you can always use blocks, use a rolled up blanket, turn the bolster the other way. I'll let you determine and decide. And then once you get here and you get settled into your body, close your eyes. Let your body feel open across your chest. Let your lungs open up to the breath of life. As you continue to settle and rest in this shape, I want you to think about any latent desires in your heart. And some of those you may have already outgrown. Some of these you've already attained. Some of these you are well on your way, and timing may be everything. There's a woman who came into the studio today who unfortunately is another student getting ready to move away. And she's moving back to Texas, which is where her children and grandchildren are. And she actually lived there in the past, but she loves it here in Tennessee. And her wish would be for her family to be here, but they're begging her to come there. And she was telling me that she dreamt last night of an emerald green horse named Jade. And she told me, she goes, I'm willing to go back to Texas, but I'm telling my husband I need a bit more property because I've always wanted a horse. And that horse showed up in my dream last night. She doesn't know much about the chakras. And I said, you realize that horse showed up green. and an extra green because its name was Jade, and that's heart. So her desire came up in color form in her dream. So I want you to rest and think about the seeds that you've already planted, the seeds that are already innate there, and how many have sprouted and grown and thrived, and some you've had to extract and get rid of. Some have been overtaken, but there's some still waiting to come forth. Nourish them here with your breath and with some tender, loving care. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, turn over to one side. Going to set up or magic four. I'm going to turn on a little heat. I'm actually going to use a blanket under my head. So feel free to grab your pillows, grab your blankets. You guys know the sequence. And you want the crease of your knees at the edge of the chair, your calves on top. Of course, if you're cold, blanket up. Arms are preferred to be in A-frame position. Angled just slightly away from the body. Cast alongside you. Starting here. Because this pose helps to unravel the tension around the tailbone. Any unnecessary tightness in the pelvic floor. It'll bring some length and space to the low back. And also consider, even though we're entering a season that asks for more action, we are still at the dawning of the season. And it's important to have rest before we act. You may be in a phase of life where you don't really need to act. Regardless, settle in to a state of ease. And start to move it to the second phase, which is sliding your left foot towards you. Anywhere along the surface of the seat is fine. And if you want to take the arch of the foot to the edge, that's okay too, as long as the knee prohibits flopping. You want that knee coming straight in towards your chest. Bring that shin calf back to reset. Take the time to reset instead of rushing to the right. Now let's slide the right foot closer. Again, it could be anywhere along the way or all the way at the edge. So now that knee's coming straight in towards the right side of the chest. Down into the belly and up into the heart. Notice the subtlety of the right side of the back getting a deeper stretch. As this knee comes closer, it moves to the mid and upper back. So we're not only beginning to target and to unravel pelvic floor and tailbone, but now it's the hips The knees and the mid back. Let's reset the right leg. Coming back to instant Maui, the first pose of the magic four. Now for the third pose, we take the left ankle and cross it over the right knee. And try not to let the foot hang too far off your thigh. Really, it's ankle bone to thigh bone. Now let's uncross that left ankle and reset. Stay in the reset, that first position. Now let's cross right ankle over the left knee, ankle bone to thigh bone. What we're doing is creating a ripple effect up and down through the body to untangle and unravel any pent up tension, not only in the major muscle groups, but in the smaller supporting muscle groups as well. Let's reset. First position. Next will be our final position of the twist. So we're actually going to bring the knees slightly in, sail over the chair, and let them land to the right. And then you're going to turn your head to the left. Now we're not only unraveling it down through feet, but up into the neck and shoulders. Exhale, we're going to turn through center, scale over the chair, and land the knees to the left side. Your shoulders stay grounded, but your head and neck can turn to the left. Let's just roll to our left side. You can even cup your left arm underneath your ear. Instead of resetting in the first position, we're resetting the back here. And then pushing down through the right hand to come up. Give you a moment to come out. Appreciate you guys showing up today and always. Namaste.